Greetings, viewers. Today I want to take you on an imaginative journey to the past, to visualize what an ancient Indian state based on the principles outlined in Kautilya's Arthashastra would have looked like. This text, written around 300 BCE by the philosopher and advisor Kautilya, also known as Chanakya, offers a fascinating glimpse into ideas about statecraft, politics, economics, and everyday life in ancient India, way before Machiavelli. As we begin, picture yourself transported back over 2,300 years, walking through the capital city of the mighty Mauryan Empire. As you gaze upon the grand roads, bustling markets, and architecturally majestic buildings, you start to notice certain unique aspects of this society. There is order, structure, and efficiency, unlike anything you might have encountered before. The urban planning is meticulous, with clearly demarcated residential, commercial, and industrial zones. The streets are wide, geometric, and clean, with an elaborate sanitation and drainage system running beneath them. Regulatory bodies carefully oversee trade, crafts, and all major sectors of the economy. The king's spies are everywhere, blending seamlessly into different parts of society to keep the rulers informed. And the military camps on the outskirts of the city serve as a reminder that this is a kingdom ever ready to halt and repel aggressors. This, dear viewer, is the Chankayan state come to life, one modeled on the guidelines spelled out long ago in the Arthashastra to create a prosperous, secure, and well-run kingdom. So what are the core pillars of such a state? What makes it unique? And what would it be like to live as an ordinary citizen under the watchful eyes of Chanakya's disciples? These are the questions we'll explore today, as we bring the ancient Indian treatise on politics and statecraft to vivid life. The king and his council. At the heart of the Chanakayan state stands the king and his band of counselors, together directing the military, economy, infrastructure initiatives, and all major branches of the administration. As Kautilya lays out, the king shall have a council of ministers consisting of Mantri or Sachiva, prime minister, Purohita, high priest, Senapati, commander-in-chief of the army, Yuvraja, crown prince or the heir apparent, Antarvamsika, chief of interior security and intelligence, Sanidata, chief treasurer and accountant, Dharmastha, chief justice, and the chief of accounts. The king relies heavily on this think tank of advisors in carrying out his duties, which range from levying taxes, meting out justice, protecting infrastructure projects, and defending the kingdom from internal and external threats. However, the final decisions always rest with him. As Chanakya asserts, a single wheel can move only with the help of its many spokes. The king is the central hub controlling everything. The council shall have control over all administrative matters. While the king has supreme authority, he is advised by this cabinet covering military, finance, judiciary, and bureaucracy. The rule of law. While the king may have supreme authority, even he is not above the law in the Arthashastran state. The kingdom has an elaborate penal code and system of courts overseeing civil disputes and criminal acts. Judges are expected to weigh evidence judiciously and avoid miscarriages of justice at all costs, while determining the appropriate punishments. The penal code has different levels of fines, brands, and even gruesome corporal punishments for those who threaten peace in the kingdom by cheating, stealing, or murdering. However, Kautilya was rather modern in cautioning against excessively harsh punishment, noting that excessive punishment drives the criminals to desperation. The broader goal is to have people respect the law through a mix of deterrence and instilling dharma. Elaborately planned urban centers. As you gaze upon any major city in our imagined Chankayan state, you cannot help but marvel at the minute urban planning. Look at these principles like Mandalaka for urban planning, with Brahmatithi, capital, Paura, major cities, Karavataka, commercial hubs, Dronamukha, industrial areas, Swarnagirika, mining settlements, Vanija, trade centers, seaports, and Nigama, administrative units, mapped efficiently. Streets divide neatly between horizontal and vertical thoroughfares. Markets, storehouses, and warehouses align symmetrically, interspersed with opulent temples. The port cities have custom houses for checking ships and, crucially, estimating the quantity and value of incoming merchandise. City roads connect efficiently with highways for ease of transport and communication, and factories for everything from textile weaving to metalworking operate smoothly with overseers tracking production targets. As Kautilya himself emphasized, the goal should be that the city should be so planned that all artisans reside in one place. The king shall populate the city efficiently, notes Kautilya on urban development. Streets align in grids with optimal space for vithis, public squares, markets, storehouses per plan. State control over the economy. As we walk through the bustling market streets, lined with shops selling everything from textiles to jewelry to leather goods, the economic structuring becomes evident. This is no free market economy. Rather, we see meticulous state guidance, regulation, revenue collection, and even monopoly over certain sectors, as prescribed in the Arthashastra. Central departments like the Sanidata closely oversee agricultural yields, cattle rearing, mining outputs, and manufacturing targets. State-run factories called Karmantika mass-produce goods from textile weaving to metal, working to boat building with overseers tracking efficiency. The royal treasury also owns mines, timber forests, ships, and entire herds of cattle, directly managing the operations through bureaucratic supervision. Furthermore, the government keeps strict audit control over all commercial transactions, weighing goods that enter or leave cities to estimate the quantity and value for taxation purposes. As Chanakya asserts in the treatise, the king shall construct mining factories and undertake processing of minerals. Shrestthis or merchant guilds trade in assigned goods like sulka, textiles, hiranya, gold, or kraya vikreya, commercial transactions, with officials monitoring market exchanges. The chief controller and chief auditor constantly check accounts across warehouses and manufacturing units to prevent leaks or wastage of state resources. The extensive state intervention manages the economy efficiently, while also filling the royal treasury through prudent taxation, able to fund large infrastructure projects benefiting citizens. Levies come in the form of custom duties, fines, penalties, tolls along highways, profits from state-run factories, and more. The underlying approach is capsulated by Kautilya's guideline that the best tax is that which leaves the largest margin for savings. Thus, the envisioned state strives for smooth functioning across domains like agriculture, mining, manufacturing, and trade, keeping most commoners prosperous through regular work under the watchful gaze of ministers and bureaucrats. A self-sufficient economy. The envisioned state pursues policies of Svadeshi Arthagama or self-sufficiency, avoiding imported goods like sulka, textiles, hiranya, gold items, or construction materials that could be manufactured domestically within Karmantikas, state factories. As the treatise notes, the best import is import substitute. Officials closely estimate annual bhikshatana, food production, from well-irrigated farmland against prajapakshaya, domestic demand. Granaries and warehouses follow the shulka principle of maintaining surplus buffer stocks to prevent shortages even during droughts. Strategic crop planning adheres to principles like trina, different crops suiting soil types, and jala, developing irrigation infrastructure. As Chanakya emphasized, efficiently watered agricultural land through projects does not depend on rain for watering and bears crops regularly. Animal husbandry also thrives through the specialized Pashupalana, cattle rearing department, overseeing dairy and meat production. Robust domestic manufacturing coupled with overseas trade allows the state to harness its natural resources effectively while keeping farmers, herders, and artisans productive, ensuring the broader society remains prosperous. A unique spy system, an integral pillar supporting efficient policy implementation, is an elaborate espionage apparatus as prescribed in the treatise. As per the Sapta Chakra, 7 circles principle, an intricate network of spies blankets the kingdom, funneling vital information to the king and ministers. Kautilya identifies spies with designations like Sanstadrugaka, those adopting disguises, and Sancharakas, mobile spies, that blend into various walks of life discreetly like traders, ascetics, monks. Chakravyuhas keep watch over caravans, livestock trains, and ships entering or leaving cities to prevent smuggling and assess trade volumes for taxation. Uparikas monitor mining and counterfeiting. Sanvrityakas track officials across departments, while Anakastas report gossip from streets and markets. As stipulated unambiguously, the Samahardar shall with the help of spies find out what is happening inside the government departments. This ubiquitous surveillance apparatus enables the state leadership to plug leaks, minimize wastage, and malpractice across the sprawling bureaucracy. The intelligence gathering through networks like the Gudaspa leave no stone unturned. Such oversight, coupled with fear of punishing Yardis, harsh sentences, ensures an administration working with efficiency to implement policies smoothly. Meticulous forensic investigations. An important branch assisting the king's administration of justice includes investigators like Prachaks working under supervision of the chief examiner, Adhyaksha, and chief justice, the Dharmastha. As the treatise notes, when citizens inevitably commit acts like theft, these specialists rely on close Vyanjana Pariksha, examination of clues, along with reasoning and evidence gathering to uncover the truth. The processes stipulate careful Padachinha and Hasta. Chinha, analysis of footprints, fingerprints, found in the vicinity of crime scenes to aid identification of perpetrators. Furthermore, specialist physicians assess suspicious injuries or toxins to determine weapons like khadga, swords, poison traces using principles of daiva, fate-based tests, and yukti, reasoning. Such meticulous gathering and assessment of tangible clues coupled with logic assists judges in arriving at fair verdicts, preventing miscarriages of nyaya, justice, thus upholding dharma. Highly regulated social conduct. As we pick fruits from a farm on the outskirts of town for an evening snack, an unexpected patrol on horseback spots us. Stern administrators quickly fine both the owner of the orchard as well as us pickers a few copper coins for illegally taking the mangoes. This hints at the elaborate codes of conduct in place for people of different vocations in our hypothetical state. The Arthashastra holds strict expectations regarding ethical trade, professional decorum, workplace behavior, and general social intercourse. Severe punishment meets those who lie, cheat at dice, abandon the elderly, abuse public property, or behave licentiously beyond limits. The goal is bringing order and virtue to interpersonal dealings within communities, and the ever-vigilant inspectors across cities and villages ensure compliance, protection of vulnerable groups. As we enter villages on the outskirts, we discern firsthand the welfare policies benefiting farmers, herders, and artisans in our envisaged Chankayan state. The king sanctions fresh seeds, cattle, and even wood at subsidized rates for struggling peasants. The hungry or destitute secure free gruel from state kitchens. Orphanages and rest houses cater to vulnerable groups lacking family support. A professional military and bureaucracy. As we return to the capital to conclude our tour, we notice the organization and professionalism distinguishing both the military as well as civilian bureaucracy. The army comprises 4 specialized branches: infantry, cavalry, chariots, and elephants. Soldiers undergo rigorous training to master combat skills and weaponry. Strict codes of conduct enforce discipline. Careful tactical planning utilizing secret agents minimizes the element of surprise by enemies. Fortifications secure all types of terrain from marshlands to forests to hilly tracts. Regional garrisons stand ready for emergencies while central forces protect the capital and royal household. Such measures make the Chankayan state's army a formidable force deterring aggressors. The bureaucracy is similarly structured, with a clear hierarchy across various departments according to areas of focus like taxation, audit, espionage, judiciary, etc. The most influential administrators belong to an elite cadre similar to modern civil services. As Chanakya exhorted in his treatise, he should appoint ministers and other officers as per rules and procedures. Nepotism has no scope when selecting personnel. Rigorous examination and observation tests candidates' competence. Once inducted, strict protocol governs how officials carry out duties, preventing leaks of confidential state matters or undue profiteering. Bureaucrats also enjoy no autonomous powers, functioning solely as agents implementing the executive's decisions. Such institutional transparency and accountability nourish our hypothetical state's stability. So in essence, as we complete our whirlwind tour across provinces to capture the essence of this ancient Indian state structured on the guidelines in Kautilya's Arthashastra, we discern a prosperous, well-defended, efficiently governed, and meticulously regulated kingdom benefiting both rulers and ordinary citizens. Not everything would suit modern sensibilities, with ideas like state monopoly over sectors of the economy or the extensive surveillance regime. Yet, considering this blueprint emerged over 23 centuries ago, The legacy of the Chankayan state stands undisputed in laying new standards for political theory and statecraft globally for millennia to come. I hope you enjoyed this little imaginative journey through time today. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section. If you learned something new or just enjoyed visualizing history, do press the like button and share the video widely across your networks. Also suggest any other historical empires, kingdoms, or eras you'd like me to bring to life in future videos. For now, it's goodbye and see you soon with another absorbing bit of the past.